Assalamualaikum, this is Aisha from CEO Club Pakistan and you are watching CEO Today TV. We have a very unique guest today. He belongs from France and his name is Guillaume Valence. He is the CEO of Advans Pakistan Microfinance Bank. This bank provides facility to the small businesses finances. So, Assalamualaikum sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Bonjour sir.
Bonjour.
So, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm perfectly fine. So, sir, just tell us about yourself, like your professional and educational background.
Okay, so I went through a pretty classic educational path. I finished my business school in 2004, I guess. And from then I started my career in the real estate sector. So I was a real estate agent for a few years. Then I joined a guarantee fund in France, where our purpose was to finance startups, so very small businesses. And my job was to provide guarantee to banks so that they could help these startups. And I was already looking at the microfinance sector, willing to travel also and have more experience and more exposure outside of France. So I came to know about Advans at this time, and Advans was just starting its activity as an operator, mostly in Africa. So I was a chance to be the first branch manager of the first affiliate of Advans in Cameroon. And since then, it's been, I would say, a succession of positive, I think, a nice story where my employer gave me opportunity to, prove myself. So I became head of SME banking in Cameroon. Then I started Nigeria as a COO, Chief Operating Officer. Then I took over the CEO position there also. So I stayed 7 years in Nigeria before I was proposed to come here in Pakistan to take over Advans Pakistan, which is a young company, in order to put him on a growth path.
So just tell us about your company or bank, the services they are providing.
As an ambition, I would say a conviction, which is that microfinance is a motor for development. So the vision is to be a model financial institution that promotes private sector-led economic and social development. Our mission is to provide financial services, client-centric financial services, to MSMEs. And more specifically, in all the countries we operate, we believe that there is this informal sector of small businesses that is not taken care of by commercial banks, neither by most of the microfinance sector. So this is the empty middle, where we believe that these business people have a lot to deliver in terms of growth, in terms of employment, and this is the reason why we operate.
Okay, so how many branches they are operating?
Now, today, let me tell you that we are a provincial-based microfinance bank. So we are regulated under the State Bank of Pakistan. We operate in Sindh, and we operate with 14 branches, both in Karachi and in the major city of interior Sindh. And of course, we are not here to stay in Sindh. So we have projects to develop ourselves beyond Sindh borders in the near future.
Okay, so where do you see your company after 10 years? The vision, the mission?
Before 10 years, Advans Pakistan will expand nationally and be within the top 5 microfinance in Pakistan. Really, the vision is for us to be the preferred financial partners of small and medium enterprises in Pakistan.
Okay, so how many employees in your company?
Now today we have 4 106 employees. 80% of our staff is in the branches. The rest is at head office.
And the ratio of male and female?
We are today at 12% female staff, mostly because our clients are composed of mostly male people, because we operate mostly in urban centers, and most of the clients we deal with right now are traders, and most of these people are male. However, we have a plan, and we have initiated this culture change within, and I can say that already at board level, at management level, we have very good female representation. Today, almost 40% of our management committee is composed of female, and this is, I think, the way we can initiate the change. So people who are making decisions must be female also to drive this change.
Okay. So, what is the take of your company on CSR?
Alors, this year we have defined 2 causes which we will address in addition to the operational and financial objectives of the bank. These 2 causes are empowerment, or I would say gender equality. Okay, so we have defined a certain number of targets in this area, both on the staff side and on the client side. And the second cause of the year is environment. So we are starting with an impact assessment of our activity, and the objective is to provide our clients awareness on how to mitigate climate change in their life.
So how you train your employees?
That's a vast question. We have, of course, onboarding period, which can last up to 2 months, depending on the type of position. But it always starts with a complete curriculum on who we are, what we do, what's the philosophy, the culture, the policies, what's the group, because we belong to an international microfinance group. And then, depending on your position, you will follow a different curriculum, both based in classroom training and also in our branches, close to our commercial staff, close to our clients. Whatever is the position you are going to take, you have to go to the branches and you have to feel the core business.
Yeah. So what are your recent achievements and plans for your company?
Now, 2021 was a very good year for Advans Pakistan. We delivered 125% growth. So operational and financial performance was extremely good. And that enabled us to plan better and to project ourselves. So we will open 8 branches in 2022. So from 14 to 22 branches. We will start our digitization, and definitely we'll prepare our national expansion, because we are not meant to stay in Sindh. Our objective is really to provide our services to all entrepreneurs and business people in Pakistan.
What are your personal achievements that you want to share with us? That you're really proud of?
Yes, I don't like to talk about personal achievements. I think, we all went through a very difficult period in 2020 with the pandemic. I'm very proud of the way we answered to this crisis, both first for our clients, because we are able to really tailor solutions to help them go through the crisis. We also performed impact survey to measure the effect of our actions on our clients. And we found out that most of them have reached the level they were before the crisis. So we really supported them. I'm really proud of that. And secondly, internally, I'm very proud of the way Advans Pakistan managed to reinforce its culture, feeling of belonging during this crisis. And that's not my achievement, it's a collective achievement.
What is the crux of your experience in life after doing a lot of things that a CEO in different companies, COO in 7 years, now here? So, what is the crux? You say that it's a main thing that I learned in my life.
I think the main thing I learned is not related to technical knowledge, but rather the way you position yourself with your colleagues. I think this is your capacity to listen, your capacity to continue to learn every day, and that makes you and your colleagues progress. So I think this would be the biggest learning point.
So, you have been here for 2 years, right?
Yep.
So, what's your experience, a whole experience about the work, the culture?
Now, first of all, out of 2 years, I've experienced 18 months of COVID. So that's been an experience. But seriously, since I arrived in Pakistan, I was really surprised by the welcoming culture.
Yeah.
So, I mean, making friends in Pakistan is very easy. I really found it. I'm here with my family, and very soon, very quick, my wife, my kids felt really well here because they could make a lot of friends and feel at home. So that, I think, is not something we are expecting actually when we talk about Pakistan abroad. This is not something we are expecting. So yes, people, and beyond that, I would say food. I mean, Pakistani food is amazingly good. Landscapes. I mean, Pakistan is a very beautiful country and very diverse country. So yes, this is it. Now, this is on the non-professional aspect. On the professional aspect, you have to deal with a culture that is pretty different from what I experienced before. I think the culture of boss is very strong. People are used to work in very, pyramidal entities where they are not asked to take self-decision or propose solution. So this is a major challenge when you want to flatten the organization and empower people.
So, what was your perception before coming here and now, after 2 years?
I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
No, I mean...
it's fair enough that you don't want to leave.
I think, I had traveled in the past in several countries, in Cameroon, in Nigeria. Nigeria also has a very bad image abroad. Pakistan doesn't enjoy a very positive image abroad. So I'm used to go beyond cliché. So we went here with my wife to see how is life in Karachi and in Pakistan, and very quickly you realize that this is extremely different from what you see on TV.
Yeah.
So I usually don't have very strong preconceived ideas before I go and see by myself.
Okay, so how you manage your stress, your anger?
Differently from what I used to do in the past, I would say. We all do a lot of mistakes, and I used to react, immediately, bluntly, and express my anger. I think anger and stress are two different things. Stress I manage by practicing sport every day, so that enables to just spend your energy positively. And when I feel anger, I just try to sit, to center, to try to analyze what I feel, to what needs it's responding, and then think about how I deal with that. Because usually, if you react immediately under anger, you make wrong decision, you react badly with people, and the effect is always negative.
Yeah. So 3 competencies that a leader must have.
I would first say listening skills. So your capacity to listen, to understand, because if not, it's just impossible to think about solutions. Your capacity to learn, and even learn from your subordinates.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the major skills I would state. And probably the third one, capacity to adapt, especially in our changing world, especially under this pandemic, where we had to adapt on a daily basis almost.
3 keywords for success.
Keywords.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, success is a relative notion. So what is success for you is not success for me. For a company, success is achievement of targets.
Yeah.
For an individual, success is fulfillment, and I would say happiness at work and at home.
So what is the idea of happiness in your point of view?
Same here. It's a relative notion. And being happy, I think, is being grateful with what you have. And again, both at work and at home.
Yeah. So at the end of our conversation, I request you to give optimism message to our youth generation.
My optimism message is don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do it. I think all of us in our childhood, we hear, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, and somehow we reach a conclusion that we are not good enough. And I think the first to be convinced that you can do it is yourself. And once you are convinced of that, just go ahead.
Thank you so much for your precious time. Again.
Thank you.
So I conclude this that if you have good listening power, if you are supportive, and if you have the learning capacity, you will get success in your life. Thank you so much. Keep watching CEO Today TV.